My name is Jay Hunter and I'm a web developer at a local company in Exeter called Yellow Studio. I started South Devon College roughly 5 years ago, progressed through the college route onto the uni route. That was all stemmed from my year 10 and 11 education, which I did at a local school in Newton Abbot called South Devon UTC. They inspired me to go on to South Devon College to pursue my education and eventually get into a decent career path in the industry. In college, I took the computer science course. Throughout the first year, we got a good general overview of all of the areas in computing, all of the technologies that we'd be using. In the second year, I decided to go the software route in computer science, so I'd be focused more on web development, software engineering, app development, rather than the hardware route, which was more focused on networking, computer hardware, of course. In university then, I also continued on doing computing. For the first 2 years of my foundation degree here at South Devon College, we primarily focused on software development once again, obviously getting more into detail, doing bigger projects. And then for my final year, I continued on the natural progression route to Plymouth University, where I topped off my foundation degree with a bachelor's and again, a lot more into software development. I do have an interest in computer hardware, but my general hobbies, they've always stemmed more towards the software side, definitely more towards programming. And that has definitely helped me get my career where I am today, doing website development primarily, but also app development here and there, and a bit of server work whenever necessary. So the roles involved in my position are primarily the development of a website from start to finish. I do tend to pick up other projects that have maybe been done halfway by another developer in the company or have been on hold for quite a while due to clients taking their time, which happens quite often. During development, we bounce back and forth quite a lot between me and my other colleagues at work. This can be, between other developers, between myself and designers, just to kind of, make sure the project's on the right track all the way through. We do tend to follow a kind of design first, develop second, test later approach. But there are some projects, some fairly big projects, that it warrants be a case of you design one small aspect first, develop that small aspect, kind of iterate on it, see how it evolves over time. The designs may change, and the development obviously then changes too. Sometimes it goes the other way. The developer makes a change and the designer likes it and we stick with that. It's generally, you get a lot of freedom, a lot of creative freedom there. You can, if you get a design and maybe there's one or two things that seem a bit off or haven't been included in the design, it's up to you to do what you want with it, and quite often it does stick around. So when I finished my bachelor's degree at Plymouth University, pretty much straight away as soon as I opened up on LinkedIn, after having a pretty decent LinkedIn profile in my opinion, been posting throughout my university, my progress, pretty much straight away started receiving messages, started receiving phone calls. My CV was out there on various websites, Reed, Indeed, whatnot. And they're all phone calls from recruiters looking for jobs in the local area. I did tend to get a few emails from jobs quite far away. Got a few positions in London and I even got one for China, but honestly, I'm not sure if that one was real. But yeah, it's generally an approach of over 1 or 2 months. You just get bombarded with phone calls on some days, and some days they're quite quiet. I did obviously put out applications myself, went on job listing websites and looked around for computing jobs, software development, something around a junior role. And I sent in applications, got some feedback, but it was mostly through headhunting where I got the most feedback, letting people find me, because the recruiters, they know best. They're working with the companies side by side. They're not just sitting in a call center, phoning everybody up that they can. Obviously, their job is their job, but they do actually go back and forth with the company that they're trying to get you with. They do speak personally with them. They will forward along your CV. They will, help you as much as you can. And you feel free to phone them whenever. They'll always be there to help you. And I certainly did, and I'm very thankful to the recruiter that got me into my current job, because he made the process a breeze. And as soon as you've kind of got a good foot into the company, then the company themselves take over. They start doing personal interviews, technology kind of interviews. You do a little code test, especially for software development or anything in computing. And yeah, from there, just see how it goes. I think a lot of aspiring students coming into college think they might struggle a bit with doing the assignments, doing the coursework, worrying about exams and submissions and deadlines. It's all very daunting when you're starting and when you're reading it. But honestly, take your time with it, go slow. You get handed all the information at the start of your modules, what assignments you're going to be doing, what lessons you're going to be doing or lectures you'll be doing. And it's open book. You can do it in your own time, do it at home. You don't have, there's no pressure to do it at college, and it definitely doesn't feel like homework from secondary school. You've got a lot of creative writing freedom with it. Obviously, there is a mark scheme, there is standards you have to adhere by, but it's little things in comparison to what you'll actually be writing about. And you get a lot of freedom in researching, which is something I actually found quite fun. Going online and reading up about the subject content, what people are doing in the industry, especially towards university when you're doing academic research. It's honestly quite amazing what research is out there that hasn't kind of fallen into the world that we live in yet. What bleeding edge stuff's there, and you get to read about it and you get to write about it, which is honestly quite nice.